The square root of a product is the product of the square roots, and the product of two square roots is the square root of the product of the radicand.
You probably have noticed I have a few new things. First of all, delete that propeller that is right in there, and delete this block right here. Replace it both with a super rocket engine with on and off mode only. You're also going to replace this quarter wedge thing here, this little tiny guy in here, or trail, whatever I had there before, and replace it with a small propeller engine facing forward. You're probably also going to notice I have a little compression block tower. I first deleted this little wedge thing here, half wedge, and I deleted the block that's in there. You're going to place this one and go up like this. Make sure these are on transparent and non-collide so they're not like showing. And then another thing is you're going to want to delete the block that's here and replace it with a helium block. This right there. You can delete that half block right there. And you can begin to follow me. So something when making dragons that I always do is I always make a T shape. And this sort of is sort of a map for me how I want to do this. This being like how much I want, like up and down, how thick I want the torso to be. I want this to be the width. Now you can bring these blocks back here to give yourself the length. Doesn't really matter what you do here. You could just use hinges if you want, because these are going to be powerless. Something I like to do here is I like to kind of make a T shape and then bring that out a little bit and then make another little T, and then that will start your tail. And then you can figure out how long you want the tail to be. Oh, it doesn't really matter what way you have these facing, but I like to have them all facing forward because I don't want to mess with the inverting stuff. Now, something really cool about trails, if you don't know, is that even though they don't look like they're connecting, they're actually connecting. Oh, hold on. My fault. Put that upside down, actually. Alright. Alright. Oh. Alright, that should be about it. Alright. And after doing a thorough check, you should have just about everything. I'm actually gonna increase the sizing of these. Going to the controls, these are all at 0 except for the max angle. I have the max angle set for 25 because I don't want it flopping all over the place. This is going to be a bit different over here. You're going to have like one side again be zeros because it makes it less of a hassle, and this side is going to be inverted. And that's going to be the settings for everything else. Bottom side, also 0, with that being the max angle. The max angle doesn't really matter as much on this end, but let's see. These are also going to be inverted. All the way till about here. That's when the settings kind of change throughout. So just going back through it for you guys in case you missed. Pause whenever you see one. Okay, and that should be it for the controls. Keep in mind, these are not the best controls. I spent a pretty long time trying to get the right controls, but I still have a few flaws in these because it requires a lot of experimenting to get these controls to go the right way I want them to go. Because as I said before, the head will sometimes like one little section is going to go one direction while the other one's going the other way. It's going to be the same thing over here, and it's not as important over here when it does that because the build still works quite fine even if this is like all janky. In fact, it actually looks pretty nice. Alright, just a quick preview of the build in case you missed anything. That's what it should look like right now, or what you should have. Guessing if you did the head, that part, have this little section for the future video, and the tail. And I will go into the controls to show you what I have for the controls. Future me, I forgot the helium in here. Just letting you know. This is pretty important. These blocks in here, you're gonna replace these half blocks with helium. What this is gonna do is it's gonna make the backside a little bit lighter. You'll probably get something like this. Alright, I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.